Pause and practice activity, Excel 1-1. We'll begin this activity by entering some data into the worksheet. So we'll start by selecting cell A1, which is in the upper left corner of the sheet. And we're going to go and type perfect vacation rentals. So at this point, I have a couple of options here. I could press the Enter key, which will move the cursor down to the cell below, which is A2, or I could press the Tab key, which would move it to B1. Here, I'll just press the Enter key and move it down. We're next going to overwrite some data, so we'll select cell A7, and with it selected, we just begin typing. We're going to make this Eastern Vista. And as again, I'm just going to go ahead and press Enter. Next, we're going to edit a cell. So instead of completely erasing it, we're just going to change a portion of it. So we'll go to cell A14 here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it, but then I'm going to double click on it. And it'll place an insertion point within the cell. So I'm going to erase the word cabin and put the word getaway. So I press Enter to complete the cell. And next we're going to enter some more information here. So I'm going to go to cell A19, and with this you should notice that the selected cell is moving up and down, and I'm using the keyboard keys to do this. So I'll go down to A19, and I'm going to type in total days, press Enter, and then average days. Press Enter. We'll again enter some more data. So we'll go to cell E14, which is here, and I'm going to enter the number 9. But instead of pressing the Enter key, I'm going to press the Tab key so this can move to the right. So it moves to cell F14, and I'll enter 11. Now here, if I press the Enter key, it'll actually move back to the next cell below the one we started at, in this case E15. This can make entering a lot of data much quicker. So I'll just continue entering this data. And there we're done. Excel has some great features, and one of those is its ability to enter data quickly for you rather than you typing it in, and it can kind of anticipate what you want. So in this case, we're going to go to cell D4, and what we would like is these other cells here to be February and March. Now instead of just typing in February and March, I can instead select the cell and then click this little box down in the bottom right corner of the cell. So I'll hover over it. You'll notice the cursor turns to a small plus sign. I can click and hold down my left mouse button and drag to the right and then let go, and it will enter those automatically for us. We'll next use some data that's already in columns to help us enter information into our sheet. So we're going to go to cell B18, and I'm going to click on B18, and then I'm going to right-click on it and move to the bottom of this pop-up window and choose Pick from Drop-Down List. What this does is it will look in the column and determine what is already there, and then we can choose from this to enter that information in the cell. So I'll go ahead and choose the IN information. Then I'm going to go to cell C18, and we kind of want to do the same thing here, but instead of using a drop down, I'm just going to start typing the information that I would like. So I'm going to type B and A, and you notice here it says, I think you mean Bass Lake. And I do, so I'm just going to press the Enter key to accept that. Here, I'll go ahead and enter the last data we need for the table, which is 3, press the Tab key, 4, and then 5. We'll move on, and we're going to be changing the positioning of the information in some of the cells. So here we're going to select B5 through 18. Now how I did that was I selected the cell I want, I hold the left mouse button down, and then I drag until I'm at the last cell I want, and I let go of the left mouse button. We're going to increase the indent on this, so I'm going to make sure I'm on the Home tab. I'm going to come to the Alignment group, and then I'm going to choose the Increase Indent button twice. We're going to select another area. It'll be State through our dates, and we're going to then choose our Center alignment option and center that information. We're now going to move a column of information into a different location. So here we're going to select C4 through C18. We're going to select the Cut option from the clipboard area. We're then going to right-click on B4, and then we're going to select Insert Cut Cells. And you'll notice that it moved this data from here to here and then moved this data over to the right. We're next going to have Excel enter some data again for us automatically. So here we're going to select G5. I'm going to enter the number 2. And what we want to do is have this enter all the way down this column for us. So I could select the fill bar here on the right and drag it down. That's not what we're going to show here. We're going to instead show a different feature, which is hovering over the fill tool and then double clicking on it to enter the data down for us. You notice it entered it all the way down to cell 20 because that was the last information that we show within our table of data. We don't need the information here, so I'm going to select both cells and press the delete key. Alright, the last step here is we're going to do a multiplication by copying special. So let's select cells F5 through F18, and then we'll click the copy button. We're then going to click on cell G5. I'll right click on this and choose the paste special option. We'll click multiply, click OK. So it actually took the information that was in this column, multiplied it by the value that was in this column, and then placed the result in this column. This ends this pause and practice activity.